Hoo Howie's girlie was on The View yesterday.
She enticed me.
She has no business being on talk shows.
Really? Was it?
She's like almost.
What'd she do?
She's
Good, bad, what?
Bad. She spent the whole time just kissing her fiance's butt.
Well, let me ask you: are they looking for a new host, or is that what they're going to do now? Is just guest host people for X amount of time?
No, what happens? Like someone has vacation time or sick, and they just kind of throw some people in there.
Now, as I recall, Rosie O'Donnell not a big fan of the Howard Stern,
and she's telling it like it is these days. So I don't know why. She basically said that she's all right with him now.
Really?
Yeah.
Made up, I think.
And she should every 2 seconds with him, whatever show she's doing, it's got to bring him up. Do you have your own thing?
No, she doesn't have her own life. She's barely a model. She's almost good enough to be a model. So, So they give her not the greatest modeling projects.
FHM thing, so Howard will plug it.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I mean, I'll give her that much. She's almost a model. Almost model material. Almost. But the teeth are a little big. And the face a little horse-like.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, not everyone could be a model. It's just the way it is.
She's almost a model, and because she F's Howard, that put her over, and now there's attention, and she gets, asked to be on these shows and to do these projects. So this is Howie's girl on The View yesterday. This is wonderful stuff.
We have as our co-host today, Beth, say it, Ostrovsky?
Ostrovsky.
I was so close. Beth O is on our show today. Beth O, who is engaged to Howard Stern, not the Anna Nicole one, the other one.
Thank God.
I got it.
And you're our co-host. Is this your first time co-hosting?
First of all, did you ever think that Howard...
I got to be honest. That voice is god-awful.
Okay.
It goes right through you, kind of like the Stalker Patty voice. It's god-awful.
Because I'm really trying to be unbiased here.
I swear to God, if you heard that voice on a radio show, you would immediately think she's got to be ugly with a voice like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be unbiased. The voice is really something there.
It is god-awful.
It's a little whiny. Yeah.
First time co-hosting?
First of all, did you ever think that Howard Stern's fiancee could become a co-host on The View?
Why not?
What have I done? I mean, I know it's in...
Of course, because then Howie's going to talk about it and get more people to watch the show. That's the only reason she's on, and she's got to at least understand that.
Maybe when he was on FM radio. I don't think...
Well, you still get people...
Getting people to tune in, really.
You still get a few people to tune in, knowing that your chick's on there.
Yeah.
No, why not?
What have I done? I mean, I know it's interesting that I'm engaged to Howard Stern, but it's just an honor to be here. And I'm so excited.
Anyone else here? In their heads when you hear this voice?
And the first thing out of her mouth? I could understand maybe it coming into conversation a little later on, but the first thing, before she even says her own name, could you imagine that Howard Stern's fiancé is going to be a Howard Stern?
Ducks quacking all over.
Oof.
All over the ball field.
And I'm so excited. And
we're thrilled to have you here.
It was really fun because Howard, we got invited to a dinner party where...
All right, yeah, that's the game we got to play. It just shows you what kind of pathetic individual she really is. She has no life of her own. All right, we start over, so just ring the bell every time she has to mention him.
We have as our co-host today, Beth, say it, Ostrovsky?
Ostrovsky.
I was so close. Beth O is on our show today. Beth O, who is engaged to Howard Stern, not the Anna Nicole one, the other one.
Thank God.
Yes, thank goodness. And you're our co-host. Is this your first time co-hosting?
First of all, did you ever think that Howard Stern's fiancee could become a co-host on The View?
Why not?
What have I done? I mean, I know it's interesting that I'm engaged to Howard Stern, but it's just an honor to be here. And I'm
what a dummy.
We're thrilled to have you here.
It was really fun because Howard, we got invited to a dinner party where I knew Barbara was going to be there, and I am the biggest Barbara Walters Monsters fan that there is. And I said to Howard, when we get to the dinner party, position yourself so I could speak with Barbara. Howard, we sit down right next to Howard. Barbara's where Elizabeth is. I'm gazing at Barbara, so excited. The next thing you know, Howard and Barbara are huddled together, whispering, giggling. They're totally in love. I'm sitting there watching my boyfriend be stolen away by Barbara Walters. We're in the car ride going home. Howard's Barbara. We're going to get together with Barbara. So of all the strippers, porn stars, women on Howard Stern's show, who am I jealous of?
Who knew it would be Barbara Walters?
I got it, you know.
Wow. Was that 10?
I don't know. Someone count out there in Radio Land? I got to tell you, man. Howard's sitting here this morning just embarrassed. That's an embarrassment to him. But he'll never admit that.
Howard.
And then Barbara Walters and Howard were talking, and then it's just Howard driving home, and when Howard was taking a dump, Howard was, I had to clean up Howard.
Yes, that's right. She sounds like the aliens from Mars Attacks. That's where we got that bit from. Yes, you're right.
Howard. Howard Stern.
He always wanted to be part of the in crowd. That's the truth as far as he goes.
That's what you want to hear, too, if you're, the rebel that is Howard Stern, is that you were gushing over Barbara Walters, and when you were driving home with your girlfriend, all you could talk about was Barbara Walters. Oof.
Well, it continues.
Youch.
By the way, I just want to acknowledge, but we don't want him on mic, that Tom has walked into the other room, I'm sure, to kind of defend
oh, boy.
She's a lovely girl and all that.
Of
Whatever.
course.
Let us do our show, Tom. We'll acknowledge that you're still friends with them, okay? Don't worry. He'll still invite you to the big dinner parties.
The wedding. You'll be invited to the wedding. Don't worry.
He's a double agent, that Tom Chiasano.
Double agent.
He is.
His tie certainly is. It hangs around the neck of a straight man.
Don't worry, Tom. We acknowledge that you don't want anything to do with this. It continues, though, the Kiss Fest.
How did you meet Howard Stern?
We met at a dinner party over 7 years ago.
Yeah.
We're finally engaged. It was was it love at first sight? I have to say, I was always Howard.
Well, it wasn't love at first talk. Nothing? Because, no? I'll read
Is it love at first sight? I have to say, I was always, Howard Stern to me was a very scary monster.
Can I tell you something?
Very, very scary.
For me, too. We've come to a period of détente.
Yes.
You know, he and I, it's nice, but he scared the hell out of me for years.
Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, he's one of those guys in high school that wore the black T-shirts and smoked by the gym that scared the school president. You know, like, I always felt like, oh, no, I don't want him to look
very, very scary.
Physically afraid of him now.
Well, yeah, I felt there was like a dark energy in some way, and his fans are scary.
Very scary.
I'd be at
I
the
love
mall.
them all, though. I love them. They're emphatic. They're very emphatic.
I'd be at the mall pushing Parker. He was like 1 year old, and the Howard Sterns would be going, "Hey, fat pumpkin head."
Oh, I don't want to hear any of that.
Probably.
6 years of my life, he ruined my life, but it's okay.
Oh, God, you really want to shoot me when I came in.
No,
do you bear any of the responsibility for that?
He's a tall, skinny Jew boy, as far as I'm concerned.
I love that. I see you guys running in the park sometimes. We do run in the park.
Ugh. Oh, my God, you got to listen to that. No chick is hot enough to listen to that.
The View in general, though, is just, it's a hen fest.
Babbling hens.
It's just women.
Cluck.
I don't want one woman talking to me. Why do you want to listen to four chicks just yap?
Just talking over each other. Ugh. Wonderful.
Ugh.
We're playing canasta.
Well, there you go. That's
No, I continue.
No? Oh,
yeah, because this next clip is the Howard Ass Kiss Fest continues.
My brothers were big fans. I was not a fan. I saw him at this dinner party, and I couldn't wait to call from the bathroom telling my brothers that Howard Stern was here.
Yeah.
And I was intrigued by him. It was Howard Stern sitting there. So I look up at him, and I just see this angelic blue eyes gazing at me.
Really?
Such Rosie, I think you know a little bit about
In real life, I have to say, I met him at a Chinese food restaurant, and twice we were at the same restaurant, and he walked in the first time. I said to Kelly, "Oh my God, there's Howard Stern." She said, "Go talk to him, you idiot." I'm like, "No."
Your HBO special.
No, he's been nice ever since Kelly and I got married.
Yeah. Oh, he's such a Rosie fan.
Well,
I
that's
have
so
to say.
sweet.
That's what his fans want to know.
Wow.
Man, Howie, you gotta shut her up. She's ruining your image. You're a Barbara Walters fan? You're a Rosie fan? What is wrong with you? Have you been just telling lies all these years?
The Rosie fan.
Well, that's
I have
so
to
sweet,
say.
but it scared me for a long time. But I went over to him. No, I went over to him and I said hi, and then he turned around, and I too, I saw a man instead of an image.
Yeah.
And his daughters were there, and they're huge Broadway fans,
Oh,
and that made me love him as a parent.
I think he's an amazing father. He's an amazing boyfriend, fiance. I am so lucky, so fulfilled. I'm a little Catholic schoolgirl, and I'm with Howard Stern.
You want more? I mean,
boy, you don't want to hear that, though, man. You don't want chick just going off about how you're a Rosie fan when you made your bones calling her a fat pumpkin head.
Hey, Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
In the car back to the apartment. Barbara.
Barbara, did you see me with Barbara? I was with Barbara, talking to Barbara. I was great. Me and Barbara hitting it off. It was wonderful. Oh, God. This is a little, like... Yeah, I'm kind of getting a
bit douche chilly.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's almost a model, but she certainly shouldn't be talking.
And Dirty Ralph, stupid, I was kidding. I'm not going to turn you into Gene Simmons. Feedback.
He's panicking.
Jackass, I was kidding. I love them.
Turn him in.
I was just groveling, you dope. I'm a worm, remember?
He's afraid you're going to turn him in.
Jimmy, you dick. I gave you
to the Gene Simmons police.
I'm sure Dirty Ralph has a big business going, because I knew a guy back in the day who made a fine living on the bootlegs.
Please, I love them. I want more. That's my blackmail. Send me more, and I'll keep it under my hat.
I'm going to Gene.
He tells the truth. That's the thing about him. He tells the truth, right? You know, sometimes in a mean-spirited, hurtful way, but he does tell the truth. And when I really gained respect for him was, during the last election, right? When he was so outraged at all.
When is he going to tell the truth and say he's with Beth just because, in his eyes, she's a hot piece of ass?
Yeah.
That would be telling the truth.
Yeah.
You're not sitting there having an interesting conversation with her over dinner. You can't possibly be having an interesting conversation.
Sorry, still smoking. Just pulled her panties off.
Please put that leg back up.
Are you? Remember Gene Simmons? He said every girl has her price.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Gene Simmons was right. Beth will fuck anything for $500 million.
Well, she didn't know he was rich.
That was a fine.
Didn't even know who he was.
Back. Hey, you want to hear something?
Absolutely.
As long as it's not mean-spirited.
He's the smartest man I know. He's the most wonderful, compassionate. He's not the Howard Stern that you hear on the radio.
No. Yeah, that's going to hurt a little bit. That comment right there is going to hurt. Even the true fan's going to hear that and go,
you're on the radio.
Ooh, I had my suspicions, but this girl's pretty close to him, and she's saying it too. Ooh, oh boy. Oh boy.